How Tyler Hansbrough went from NCAA legend to playing in China. The most accomplished college basketball player of his generation has a theory for why his NBA career fizzled out more quickly than he expected. Tyler Hansbrough considers himself a casualty of the NBA's recent pace and space revolution, a throwback power forward stranded in an era when the league prefers mobile, athletic big men capable of shooting threes and defending away from the basket. I do think, if the league isn't as three-point driven and small ball driven, I'd probably still be playing right now, the 33-year-old Hansbrough said. I still think I can. When Hansbrough entered the NBA in 2009, Mike D'Antoni's 7 seconds or less offense was still considered a curiosity, not a forerunner to a revolution. The NBA's by the time Golden State won the first of its 3 titles in 2015 with 6'7" Draymond Green spending time at center, NBA coaches were viewed as dinosaurs if they didn't go small and emphasize floor spacing and defensive versatility. There was no longer unable to land a contract offer from an NBA team for the 2016-17 season. Hansbrough sat out for 4 months, then averaged 17.6 points and 12.2 rebounds in 13 games with the G League's Fort Wayne Mad Ants. That didn't garner, I kind of saw it coming, Hansbrough said. Teams started that Hansbrough didn't make a greater impact in the NBA should have no impact on the legacy he built at North Carolina. Few players in the pressed into a starting role as a freshman after Marvin Williams and Sean May both entered the NBA draft. Hansbrough took advantage by averaging 18.9 points and 7.8 rebounds and earning second-team All-American honors. Hansbrough matched when eventual national champ Kansas throttled North Carolina in the 2008 national semifinals. Hansbrough chose to return to Chapel Hill for his senior season and made it his mission to capture a championship. A Tar Heels team. There was a lot of pressure on us from the outside that year, but we also put a lot of pressure on ourselves, Hansbrough said. We felt we were the capturing a national title may have been Hansbrough's proudest achievement at North Carolina, but it's not the one he's asked about most often. There's his powerful two-handed dunk on UNC Asheville's 7'7" center Kenny George. I was a little frustrated, so I took it right at him, Hansbrough said. The crowd loved it. There's his 4-0 career record at Duke. The celebrations when we'd come back to campus, Hansbrough said, that's where we had the real fun. And there's the flagrant foul delivered by Duke's Gerald Henderson that broke Hansbrough's nose but not his spirit. I would say we're friends now, Hansbrough said. We don't talk all. Hansbrough's historic career at North Carolina led Indiana to select him 13th overall in the 2009 NBA draft. Scouts viewed him. Hansbrough carved out a role as a high-energy rotation big man during 4 seasons with the Pacers, but already there were ominous signs that his style of play didn't mesh with the direction the league was headed. While Hansbrough, rather than back up David West for another season in Indiana, Hansbrough signed with Toronto as a free agent in 2013 with visions of proving he could provide more than just a jolt of energy off the bench. It's a decision. Since the 6'9", modestly athletic Hansbrough lacked the physical tools to alter shots at the rim in the NBA, Toronto was vulnerable defensively if he was the lone big man on the floor. At the same time, I had some good moments and good games in Toronto, but looking back, I wish I could have done more to help the team, Hansbrough said. They had made some never again would Hansbrough be a consistent part of an NBA rotation after leaving Toronto. In what turned out, while Hansbrough showed promise in his second season in Indiana and produced sporadic highlights thereafter, the hard-nosed, elbow-throwing forward's NBA legacy is largely his ability to get under the skin of opponents. There was the time he charged at Festus Ezeli after the Golden State center pushed him in the throat. Or the time Piston. Ironically, the scrap Hansbrough still hears about most often is one he didn't actually get into. Fouled from behind during the 2013 preseason game, Hansbrough angrily turned around only to bump chests with a snarling Ron Artest. Hansbrough backed, I wasn't really in the mood to mess with Ron Artest at the time, Hansbrough said with a laugh. A lot of people 6 years later, Hansbrough and Artest can both chuckle at their viral moment. I like running into Ron, to be honest, Hansbrough said. He handled it well. There have been fewer viral moments for Hansbrough the past couple years as he has been out of the NBA spotlight. He chose to play in 27 games with Zhejiang this past season. Hansbrough got to show aspects of his game that he never could as a role player in the NBA. He averaged 20. Hansbrough said he enjoyed the experience of playing in China, from the basketball-crazed fans, to the delicious noodles and dumplings, to big cities with more to offer than he expected. He intends to I want to play as long as I am healthy and can compete at a high level, Hansbrough said. I would have liked to have more from Yahoo Sports.
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up